Another February, spare a dime. It has been a very cold month for most of you who are probably watching this, but things are on the up and up. Spring is right around the corner. But before we get to spring, we have to recap the month that was February 2021. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking Crafty Radler by Pump House. It's a grapefruit and tangerine radler.
And it was a gift to us from Retro Rivals. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's recap the month that was really freaking cold. That month was called February 2021.
Girl J-Love81 and you're watching my boys gaming off the grid.
All right, can't believe it's the end of February. We've got 2 months almost in the bag from 2021,
Wow.
At least in our area, but I think for a lot of the areas that the viewers are in, it's some of the coldest days on record.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's been brutal.
Negative temperatures nonstop. It's just cold to your core.
Yeah.
If you guys know the song Another February by Local H, that's like the anthem of this month.
Yeah.
Just check that song out, it's amazing.
Especially
But
for Midwesterners.
it's so cold right now.
Another February comes and goes.
And I'm so glad it's starting to warm up a little bit.
And the
here.
other day it was like 6 and it felt hot
Dude,
outside.
I like took off my jacket. I was like, oh my god, it feels so good.
All right, but we're not a weather channel. We're just, it's just how it's been. But anyway, we always start this thing off. We do a few shout outs and we want to talk about a channel that really moved us. We spent a lot of time watching their channel this month. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this channel, but if you haven't, you should check out Second Opinion Games.
Yeah, so this channel is a little bit bigger than what we usually shout out for channel of the month, but they put out such consistent content. From the looks of it, it's a two-person channel. Sometimes it's the dude, sometimes it's the chick, and sometimes they're together, which is kind of nice. It's a change of pace. Dude, the production's incredible in Second Opinion
Pacing,
Games.
it's got a great voice.
The B-roll, the editing, it's so good, it's so entertaining. And we discovered it from some Wii U stuff, and then I've just been in love ever since. I'm like, man, so much time goes into these videos, and it's just so well done.
Yeah, and he's not, him or her, there's 2 people that work on the channel. They aren't on the camera a ton. It's a lot of just screen cap and B-roll, but it's a fantastic narrative, and they do fantastic work. I really think you guys could find some value from checking out
Second Opinion Games.
And they post a lot, so
Yeah.
that's really nice. Now let's move on to YouTube video of the month. And that's Retro Rivals, beer sponsor of this episode,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So they did a video, and by they I mean Jen, did a video reviewing Alice Madness Returns, which is a PS3 game.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I've never played the game before, but I was like, holy crap. Like, this is insane. I know she put so much time into it, editing, production, there was green screen involved. It was absolutely amazing, and it felt like an IGN review. Like, it felt
was really
so
well done.
good. I was like blown away.
And I think the day it came out or the day after, I found the game for $2 at a pawn shop.
Yeah, you did.
And it's a game we've wanted for a while. It was just like,
It just
Fate?
everything clicked.
Yeah.
But guys, you don't have to know what the game is about. Go check it out. She dives into the depth of the history of Alice.
Yeah.
It was so fascinating, and I've never played the game.
yeah, it's fantastic work. We've talked about them plenty of times on the channel, but they do a fantastic job. And that video was just top-notch production. It was just epic.
Now let's move on to Game of the Month.
Oh, yeah. We've probably talked about this game enough on the channel.
I think this was Game of the Month a couple months ago.
But we've been playing another season with another friend in NHL Hits 2002, and the game is so good that it should be called NHL Tits. It's so good. It's so much fun. Playing it multiplayer, in particular, playing it three-player.
Oh my god, dude. It is so much fun. We're trying to get the freaking Stanley Cup again. Playing as a Colorado Avalanche, which is the best team. Dude, it is like the perfect arcade sports game, and I'm not even a big hockey fan. I like hockey, but
I'm not either.
oh my god, it's fun. What's so cool about this is it's an arcade sports game, and you can jump in and play it, but if you play three-player, everyone has a specific job, and if you don't do your job, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like, it's very...
Yeah.
You have to work together.
You gotta do your job! But it's hard. I literally think it is the best three-player multiplayer game, period. Not sports game, not arcade sports
Just
game.
period.
Just best 3-player game I have ever played, and I've played a lot of video games, a lot of couch co-op games, and NHL Hits 2002. We love you.
Oh, Jesus.
It's such a great game.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Now move on to comment of the month. So this month we've gotten an insane amount of comments. We're kind of at the point where we can't even keep up, but we're trying. We're trying, guys.
Yep. If we haven't hit you back, we're sorry. It does. We will get there. It's just been like, I don't know, we got about a 4 or 5 video run that we have literally been putting 2 to 3 hours a day into comments and not even making a dent.
Can't even catch up. But Draven Faust commented, hopefully I said that right, on our GameCube episode, and the comment really put things into perspective. It's basically comparing the prices of modern games to the GameCube games and being like, hey, they're not that expensive, and these games are better than the new games coming out. So it was like, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think I even told him, like, that's an awesome point, because we kind of, in that buying guide, we love the GameCube, but we were like, maybe in 2021 it's not the time to collect for the GameCube because it's gotten so expensive.
Yeah.
And you can go watch the video if you care to, but he was like, one way I look at it is these games are better than the PS5 games and they cost about the same amount, so what gives? I would rather have a GameCube game than a PS5 game.
That's a really good point.
And I was just like, well played, sir.
Yeah, it's
well played.
crazy thinking about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and buy a new game for $70, but buying an old retro game for $70, that's weird. But it's the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
It really puts things into
If you're going to put the time in and enjoy it and have fun, what gives? Who cares what generation it's from? I just love that point.
Yeah, it really put things into perspective. Thank you so much to everyone that has been commenting.
Yeah.
Dude, we appreciate every single one of you that comments and that watches. And if you've never commented, please comment. We want to know who you are. We want to talk to you.
And to be perfectly honest, we appreciate 99% of the comments that we get. Because there are some folks that fall into this little category called boner dogs. And a lot of times it's the trolls, and a lot of times it's the people that, do things that just make you go, wow, what is wrong with people? And the boner dog of the month this month, I am referring to someone specific in this instance, but
it can apply to
to anyone across the platform. Mr. Burner Account. Okay. First off, nobody knows who you are from your YouTube name and handle, and you don't put any pictures of yourself up on your YouTube page.
So there's no way to identify
There's probably
you.
a reason for that. But then to create burner accounts and reply to your own comments when it's clearly a burner account because you created it the same day that you weren't getting replies to the comments on your original account, and you're just spewing hot garbage. It's like, man, get a life, bro.
Well, what's crazy about this is they spend so much time to make a new account, a burner account, and then this troll, for example, but I'm sure this happens to a lot of people that are doing YouTube, they've been trolling for months. They put so much time into things they hate, apparently.
We're idiots. I think we've been called
limp-wristed.
Yeah. A lot of
wearing black nail polish is disgusting.
Yep. Robert's a freak. Our balls need to drop. We play with each other too much. We drink fruity beers.
Which this beer is.
A lot of the comments from this individual gets screened because YouTube has stuff, so it ends up like in held for review, so we don't see them anyway. And it's just like that toxic internet vibe.
And it's just like, dude.
And I gotta get better, but occasionally the Roman candle gets lit, and I just have to smoke these motherfuckers.
So if you guys follow us on social media, you probably saw that post we put out a couple days ago, and
that whole thing started
months ago.
It really started earlier in that day because I was at work, and he took a pretty aggressive shot at you.
Yeah,
and
because of this.
That you say what you want about me, but you say something about my friends, my family, I'm gonna be ripping your fucking throat out. And that's just how I've always been. And I'm not an aggressive person, but don't go after my friends and my family.
And I'm gonna warn you, dude. He's strong.
And so then later on that night, I just basically played it cool the first time and just said, hey, we're done replying to your toxic BS, blah blah blah. And then that night he put another quarter in, and I just went off. I need to be better, but man, if you've ever even had the thought, it's just so weird for me. I can't even wrap my mind around it. I think I was actually texting Riff the other day, and this is the truth. I've been watching YouTube since 2006 or 7.
Yeah.
It has never even crossed my damn mind to leave a negative comment.
No.
So I can't even get myself to the space of leaving negative comments for months and then creating a burner account
to help push those negative comments.
Like it's like I can't even get into the amount of shit that is wrong in the fucking hard wiring of that machine. I just can't get there. And that's probably why it frustrates me so much, because you get frustrated by things you can't understand. And anyway, That's kind of a long-winded boner dog of the month, but we'll probably have to maybe even edit some of that out because I just get going on a tangent. But if you've ever created a burner account, you're an asshole, and you're a boner dog. So
And don't be proud of it.
Yeah.
Don't be proud of it.
Yeah.
But speaking of things you should be proud of, is your beer consumption. And we drink a lot
you
of
know what
beer.
they say? A sober mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I say all the time. Let's talk about beer of the month. So we have the White Chocolate Raspberry by Southern
Yeah.
Tier. Our buddy BK sent this to us, and oh my god! I think in the episode we were like, wow, like this. It was just so rich and flavorful. It was definitely a sipper, but man, the flavor, it was so good.
It's there's a few people that have sent us beers. I think of like Joe Wallace and Do You Nerd and Retro Rivals and BK, all these folks that have just like sent love. I think, did I say Captain Algebra? Captain Algebra sent us some beer. I'm probably forgetting some folks, but I keep thinking like, man, I hope they don't send us something bad. I don't want to like offend them, but somehow
It just
just keeps coming through.
how does it keep getting better?
And so we hope, we've sent beer to other folks as well, and we hope we can deliver as much as we've been delivered to on the beer front. And BK, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
it was freaking
you've hooked us
epic.
up so many times with
Yeah.
such amazing beers, and man, that beer was so
It was
freaking
divine.
good. Now let's move on to what's on in the game room. So this month is a short month, obviously the shortest month of the year. And what's crazy is we don't ever have much time to watch things, but in the month of February, we've been watching movies.
Yeah, and there's 2 nights in particular where we pretty much,
They paused everything,
Yeah.
and just watched movies.
yeah. Yeah, so we watched They Live. That
They
was
Live.
kind of where it started.
So we went into They Live kind of as a joke, and I was editing, we were working on stuff,
Yeah,
and then about a quarter of the way in, everything stopped, and we were just like, what's happening?
There's some funny stuff.
Roddy Piper, man.
Me and Megan Ann were going back and forth. He was kind of bagging on the soundtrack and how like the same riff starts.
Mama don't like tattletale.
The ending is kind of dog shit.
Yeah, the ending sucks to that
But
movie.
it's a John Carpenter film, and it's actually a pretty freaking good
It's
movie.
very suspenseful, and and Piper does a really
Yeah,
good
he
job
does.
as the main guy.
Yeah.
Like, I was intrigued the entire time, and then when it ended, I was like, that's how it ended?
Yeah, and then we had another night where we watched Idiocracy.
Oh, that's the first time I ever saw
It's
it.
supposed to be a comedy, but somehow it's just so ironically prophetic. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. It's just a great film, and you hadn't seen it, right?
No,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
my
So
first
this
time
is
seeing it.
time.
Dude,
So, yeah.
it's so... It's just, they
Yeah.
put things...
Go away, I'm biting. Shut up!
Dude, Dak
Yeah,
Shepard...
yeah, shut up!
Dak Shepard in that movie is so funny.
Oh,
Everyone-
he kicked me in the balls. Oh. That's like that one time where he knocks on the door and goes, "Go away, I'm biting."
I like having sex with chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody does, Frito.
Not like I do.
It's so exaggerated, but it also puts things kind of into perspective, like, is this kind of where things are going?
It
Like-
seems like it could be happening. You got on a Jurassic Park bender.
Yes, I watched Jurassic Park 1 and 2, which...
Yeah, there was a day you got over here early to edit. I got home from work and you're like, yeah, I didn't really get a lot done.
Yeah, I watched Jurassic Park.
Trying to get us ahead, but put in Jurassic Park. So, I mean, just been watching movies. I was like, oh,
Dude,
yeah, whatever.
and then we didn't watch these together, but you watched them and then you let me borrow
Yeah,
them.
because I was actually like, I don't really love comic book movies.
Yes.
I really like my favorite comic movies of all time are Dick Tracy, the original Ninja Turtles.
Oh, those are great movies, yeah.
Keaton's Batman. I love like when movies were just different. I really don't like this new Marvel cookie cutter.
So you were very hesitant.
Formulaic comic book movies. I just don't like them. So I was hesitant to put this in, but I got it at a half off sale at a thrift store, so I got it for like $1, and I got Venom.
Yes.
I looked up the Rotten Tomato score. It wasn't very good. And so I was like, yeah, I put it in one night before I went to bed. I was like, I'll watch 20 minutes of it, fall asleep, and I'll never watch it again. Watched the whole thing. Then the next night, I watched it again. Then I loaned it to you.
Yeah, and then I watched it and I was like, holy crap, dude, it's so good. And I'm not a fan of the Marvel movies either. I mean, I like Deadpool. And
Yeah, Deadpool's good.
Deadpool's good, but I was like, this is incredible. Like, when it ended, I was like, no, don't end, I want more.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It was so freaking good. And if you haven't seen Venom, man, Tom Hardy,
Yeah.
which was a weird choice, I think, for Venom, but he does such a good job.
He does. He kind of does. Doesn't he just come off like he's successful in the like he's got a successful like writing job,
Yeah.
right, a reporting job, but he just comes out as like kind of a burnout.
Yeah, he's just kind of
like he smokes too much weed and drinks too much.
And
And now
then-
he comes off, and then he like this. It just plays so
Dude,
well.
it's such a good movie. You gotta check out Venom. And then the same thing happened with a movie called Game Night, which,
horrible movie.
yeah, it's not as good as Venom,
Tons of plot holes. It's
but it was very enjoyable.
and Jason Bateman, and if nothing else, The neighbor is one of the funniest actors I've ever seen. And I mean, you guys just need to watch the very last picture he draws when they're playing Pictionary at the very end.
Green Mile.
You guys just need to watch it. Again, if you really analyze the movie, the plot holes.
It's one of those movies that
it's a horrible movie.
I probably won't watch it again.
I probably will.
Well, I probably will too. But I was very intrigued. There were some twists I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And some of my... It's just funny because something... Like, there's a scene where Jason Bateman is trying to be secret and, like, check out some information on the computer, and his arm's bleeding, and he drips on the white dog, and then blood goes in.
And it's just one of those things that
it's just ridiculous.
It keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, that part... It's just little things like that that just make this movie so good. Obviously, it's not the best movie ever, but it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I put that in, like, kind of a category of there's a ton of shitty movies that I really like.
Yeah, and that's one of them.
That would be one of them. So that's a hodgepodge. It's probably way longer than that section's ever went, but it's just been... Yeah,
it's weird we've been watching movies.
It's been cold and...
moving inside.
Yeah, just kind of... And then, yeah, we've just been able to get some really good movies that were pickups, that weren't movies we wanted to flip, that we just actually wanted to watch, and that's really fun.
And it feels good, because I used to love watching movies, but I haven't done it in a long time, so it feels good to watch movies again.
Yeah, for sure. All right, it is time for some monthly highlights. We've already talked about how cold it's been. We haven't really been able to do anything outside of the game room. And
even the game room's getting cold.
Yeah, and we're usually outside. We'll usually, on the weekends, take the computer down to the garage, and we'll usually get out and skate a little bit or throw a football around, or we just can't do that right now. So that's probably why we've been watching more movies.
Yeah, that's why. Because we're inside.
But some of the highlights for the month. This month has been the biggest growth spike we have ever seen.
Oh, dude, it's absolutely insane.
Channel, and I don't even know what it equates to or why it's happening.
Yeah, at first I thought
it's been a whirlwind.
At first I thought it was someone shout us out and we didn't know, and then it kept going, and it went on for about 2.5 weeks, and it's still going on. And I was like, dude, what is happening? Every time I refresh, I'm like, oh my god! So we hit 7,000 subs, then we hit 8,000 subs, and it's like.
Yeah.
And then our views, like, every time I put out a video, it's like our #1 video, and it's like, what is happening?
Yeah, what's different about this video than the last? And we literally probably came into this month with averaging maybe 10 subs a day, and we're at least at the filming of this episode on a 2-week bender of not being below 60 in a day and hitting 180.
Absolutely insane. So thank you, guys, so freaking much. If you're new, if you're old, if you're young, if you're old, thank you so freaking much for watching, for sharing, for helping us out, because it's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind that this stupid little thing is...
You talking about him?
Yeah, I'm talking about him. This stupid little thing is growing out of control. So thank you guys so freaking much.
We never saw it coming, for sure.
I can't believe it. It's very surreal.
Yeah, it is, and it's been kind of a whirlwind as far as trying to keep up with everything, because it's really important to us to take care of the viewers that take care of us, and it's really hard when, your stance is like, we will reply to every comment, and you put like 8 hours in on a Saturday and you can't even make a dent. So we're going to try getting caught up. I've got plans this weekend to hammer it out again. But we do appreciate it, and it's more than we deserve and more than we could ever imagine or ask for. So from the bottom of our hearts, freaking thank you for all the support. It really means
so
the world
freaking
to
much.
us.
I know we say it all the time, but we seriously mean it. Thank you guys. We would not be this size without you guys. So thank you so freaking much. We really mean it. And then another monthly highlight was, we've already mentioned Second Opinion Games, but we were actually in a Wii U episode with him.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool collab. We were talking about some hidden gems on the Wii U, and we talked about
racing games.
Racing games on the Wii U, and we talked about this really weird top-down racing game that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And it was cool that he was like, hey,
Rockin' Racing.
You want to be on our channel? And I was like, yes. It was very sweet. So that was a pretty big highlight.
Yeah, our hunting video came out. It's been our best performing hunting video that we've had, which was a fun one to put together, because honestly, on the back end, we did not think we would be able to get another one out till once garage sale season started. So we're thinking early spring, early summer would be the next one. But we've had a pretty good winter as far as game hunting goes. So
insane! I think it's the most profit we've ever made.
The Defending Resellers episode was kind of a lightning rod episode. We try not being the controversial channel, and I don't think it was super controversial, but it was a really cool episode, because even though we're friends with Pixel Game Squad and we talk to them or text back and forth quite a bit, it's still I'm still at a point where it's surreal to me, where Riff's like, dude, I'll shoot a video for you, and you guys can pop it in if
And we were
whatever. And I'm like,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I just think back. I just try to keep everything in perspective. Like 3 years ago, if you would have told me that was like gonna be
texting.
that was
forever.
cool, I would have been like, yeah, okay, whatever.
It's absolutely insane. And going back to that episode, it's also cool. The comments were really cool because a lot of we don't all agree on things. People were like, "Hey, I don't agree with you." But it wasn't like a fight. It was like, I see your side, here's my side, and I liked how it was a civil conversation. 99% of it. Obviously, there's boner dogs out there that like to stir the pot, but it was nice to just be like, yeah, this is our side, this is your side. We're all retro gamers, so who cares?
Yeah, and then we've continued this buying guide series we've been doing, like kind of framing it around should you purchase console X in 2021, based off kind of the market and is it worth collecting for?
Yep.
All I can say is wow. I mean, we're trying to provide value to someone who may be getting into collecting in the current times, and these videos have been just performing lights out. And it started back in 2020 with the Wii and the PS2 one.
Those videos are still popping.
Yeah.
And we put out the Xbox one, and that was the start of our growth, and we were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, now let's talk about the GameCube.
Yeah.
And then we have another one, the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of research and the back end stuff and that to get those out, but it's paying off and it's worth it. And then I really enjoyed the filming of that Wii U tablet episode.
Yes, dude, that came out at the very beginning of February.
That was like 2 months in the making.
Yeah,
though.
that video, I was so proud of that video because it took so long. That was like the most research we've done in a while. I know we've done research a lot on like the Stash or Trash PS2 launch title episode, but this one was cool because we played the games, we had to get screen cap of the tablet, which is really hard to do, and get screen cap of the TV, and then linking them together editing wise, it took forever.
Yeah.
But I was really proud on how that episode turned out, and there's a lot of sweet games, guys, on the Wii U that use the tablet.
And we wanted to get ourselves to a point where we were both in the same boat, because there were games like you had played but I hadn't, and games that I had played but you hadn't. So we're like, okay, we got to just put in these games, and we literally played every game and filmed for hours and hours, just making sure we could illustrate our points through screen capture. And
obviously, once we put it out, someone was like, "Oh, you forgot this game. You forgot this game.
We forgot one of our favorite games.
Yeah, Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I say? Poverty's perfect. So it sucks that we forgot that game. But we have an episode coming out in March, I think, where we'll talk about that game again.
Some of our favorite things from the month. It got kind of long-winded, but we still have to talk about this beer, which was a gift from Retro Rivals. The Retro Rivals, the beer sponsor of this episode.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Nice. This is the Crafty Radler. It's a grapefruit and tangerine radler by Pump House. Comes in at 4.7%.
Is this beer from the Canuck? Like, I know, like, is it from Canada?
From Canuck? Yeah. Moncton, New Brunswick.
I think you say Moncton.
Moncton, New Brunswick. Is that what NB stands for?
Yeah.
New Brunswick, Canada.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm assuming so.
But all I know is Retro Rivals are badass.
Yes.
And this is a really freaking good beer.
So I'm typically not a go-to Radler drinker.
Yeah.
Because they're usually more fruity.
And because you're scared of rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Dude, the tail is freaky.
Yeah, it is.
But
you want to talk about the devil on earth? I think a rattlesnake tail.
Is.
Yeah.
But just like a rattlesnake's tail, this beer is delicious. This beer is so...
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, wild card. This beer is so good. This beer is so refreshing. Has a really, really good fruit taste. This would be great on a hot summer day.
Yeah, it really would, and it's February. But yeah, it does feel like it definitely feels like we're drinking this out of season. But this beer's a crusher. I mean, I think it's only 4%, so I mean, it would probably take 30 of these to even get me buzzed.
But man, it's so juicy. It's so smooth. This is going down real quick. Like it's so good, and it's like, man, should I move to New Brunswick for this beer? Probably not.
It is,
but I will have it.
Weird to have an amazing rattler though, out of like kind of a colder territory. That's really good. Yeah,
that is crazy to think about. So
well done, Retro Rivals. You've earned your beer sponsorship for this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
That's about all we have to talk about for February. Great month for the channel. It was kind of just a surreal moment. I definitely won't forget the everyday texting each other like, dude, what the frick?
Yeah, we would always text each other like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening?
This is unreal. It's surreal. We know it's probably short-lived. I think somehow we just maybe got in the old algorithm for a minute. But it was pretty cool. Even if it only lasts for a month, I'm sure before too long we'll be back to 300-400 views a video. And we'll still be happy about that.
Yes,
but in the meantime, it's kind of like, it's really happening, isn't it, Harry? So anyways,
Our pets have their phone.
they really are. And speaking of falling off, I don't know if you guys noticed earlier in the episode when I looked up there, Jimmy Superfly Snuka fell off the top of the thing, and he's been doing that a lot tonight.
He's been trying to fly.
Yeah, so we got to take care of that, which means we have to end this episode. And we'll see you next time, right here on the rattlesnake tail that is gaming off the grid.
Our good friends, Retro Rivals.
Who also are sponsoring the beer for this episode.
Ooh, that's a little tag.
Dogs. The AMS. Yeah. Vincent Kennedy. Yeah, dude, don't do that.
This is for you.
You'll get called a freak, dude. He's a freak!
Of nature.
Yeah, boner dogs unite. They seem to like our channel.
That's because we shot him out. That's why.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, I like that.
I think we got it. We're getting pretty good at filming these videos, bud.
Yeah, we're experts now.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
I don't even know why.
No, I love it. There's just no acknowledgement to it.
What do you think, Savage? Dig it! Yeah, he's poked.
Yeah, he's snapping into a
All right.
Should we try this rattler?
Yeah, let's give her a shot. Rattler.
Oh, it smells very fruity.
Ooh, that's good. Wow.
That's really
Like,
refreshing.
is that beer? Or is it just
Where's
goodness?
that God?
God? Is that you? He's like, of course it is, son. But how didn't you notice me without my sandals on? Alright.
Can you guys hear this? These lights?
You know, like in elementary school, did your teachers ever tell you guys to keep it down to a dull roar?
No.
I had a couple old teachers be like, you boys need to keep it down to a dull roar. And I'd always be like,
It's dull.
I'll show you a dull roar.
That's what her dad gives her. Or not her.
Even when I was in kindergarten, it's like, I'll show you a dull roar.
Zip flop.
Speaking of snapping into a Slim Jim. Woo! Kindergarten.
What a year. What a year.
This is really funny, but I was really bad at wiping my ass in kindergarten, and I had to have my teacher come in and help me wipe one day. And she did it.